All right, friends, let me share the screen. Does everyone have out their Mother Teresa stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so you should have this paper in front of you. And you should also have your graphic organizer. Give me a thumbs up if you have both these sheets. All we're gonna need for today. Okay, let's go ahead and reread the entire essay. Yesterday, we read it for the first time, and we went back and we decided that the first portion, usually these would be in paragraphs, but this is not, that the first portion of this was mostly about Mother Teresa's youth, correct?
Yes.
So detail number 1, we said that we wanted to mention her birthday, which was August 26th, 1910, born in Macedonia. Who's humming? Number 2, we also wanted to write in there that she was 12 years old when she decided she wanted to become a nun. And number 3, we said that she became a nun in 1937. We did the math. We subtracted 1910 when she was born from 1937, and we figured out that she was 27 years old when she became a nun. When she officially 27 years old when she officially became a nun. Okay, yeah. So that was our first paragraph, or our first main idea with the 3 supporting details. We're gonna move on. Let's continue let's just read the whole first paragraph because it's just a couple sentences. So let's go ahead and read from the beginning. I'm taking out my other color highlighter. So I use yellow. I don't want to hear comments. Just do it, please. If you don't have one, ask a neighbor to borrow a different color. All right, here we go. Let's start from the title. Are you ready to read? Shane, you ready to read? Here, you can borrow mine. I have yellow. You have yellow? You have orange. This is good. I'm waiting for Cameron to sit down. I'm waiting for the 2 kiddos over there to stop talking. All right, here we go. Ready and read. Mother Teresa
was born on August 26, 1910 in Macedonia.
When she was 12 years old, she decided that she wanted to become a Roman Catholic nun.
She joined
The Sisters of Loreto when she was 18 years old. She took her final vows in 1937. She taught at a school in India. Okay, stop right there, just so you know. This is where we're gonna start our second details, okay? Our second main idea. She taught at a school in India, but was very concerned about the poverty that she saw all around her. In 1948, she left the Sisters of Loreto to form her own order, the Missionaries of Charity. She focused entirely on working with the poorest among the poor. In 1952, Mother Teresa opened her first home for the dying. She established many homes. Okay, so this part right here, from here to about here, they're talking about what mostly?
How she helped people out.
Okay, so let me reread this. So she taught at a school in India, but was very concerned about the poverty she saw that was around her. In 1948, she left the Sisters of Loreto to form her own order, the Missionaries of Charity. She focused entirely on working with the poorest of the poor. So if it continues, let me see. Okay, so actually, I'm going to pretend like I didn't write this here at all. So first of all, I think one great detail is to write that she opened up her own charity, don't you think?
Yeah.
So in 1948, she formed her own charity, which is called the Missionaries of Charity. Right? Okay. What's another good detail just from those couple of sentences? Let me reread this out loud. So she focused entirely on working with the poorest among the poor. Do you think that's a good detail to write? Yeah, so she focused on the poorest among the poor. So I'm just gonna highlight she focused poorest among the poor. Because remember, if we highlight everything, we're just gonna highlight every single line. Okay, I'm gonna continue. In 1952, so far this area is focusing on what exactly? Her childhood, the jobs that she had. But what do you guys think this was just focusing on? Yeah, so far.
In this paragraph.
Yeah, what we're reading.
Mother Teresa helping the poor.
She's helping the poor, and so far she seems to be opening her own charities, right? Yeah. Okay, let's continue. In 1952, Mother Teresa opened her first home for the dying. She established many homes for the poor who were dying, and she provided them with food and medical care so that they could die in peace. She also opened many clinics for people who are suffering from leprosy, as well as a number of orphanages. Her order grew, and by 2007, it was operating 600 mission schools and shelters in 120 countries around the world. I'm going to have the paragraph stop there. I wish they would have split it up, but they didn't. But this whole thing is focusing on how exactly she helped. Yes?
Yes.
So she opened up her own charities or her own missions, and she helped the poorest of the poor. What's another good detail to add from here? So she established many homes for the poor who were dying, and she provided them with food. Oh, I like that. So she provided them with food and medicine so they can die in peace. And I think it would be important to kind of mention, when she did pass away, how many of these clinics she built. So do you want to add those numbers in there?
Yes.
Right here, when it says, in 2007, her order grew. She was operating 600 mission schools and shelters in 120 countries around the world. I think that would be very important to mention. So our first detail is 1948, her own order. That's when she built her first clinic, or her first missionary. No, I didn't even know what she would call it. I guess it would be a clinic. And she helped the poorest of the poor. She gave them food, medical care, so they can die in peace. And then we're going to end that paragraph with the information of how many she actually built. Any questions so far? So what should we title this section that we just highlighted? What would be the name of that main idea? Damien.
How she helps
Okay.
the poor and how she helps the
Okay, I like that. Camilo, I like adult life. Yeah, but I want to be more specific. But yes, you're right. It happened in her adult life. What do you think?
And she was helping out the poor.
Okay. Any other suggestions? Yes. Oh, that's not a suggestion. Anybody have a suggestion? Yes.
I do have a suggestion.
Okay. Oh, I Chihuahua.
Well,
Okay, let's go. Yeah, helping the poor. Yeah. How about helping the sick and the poor?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. How about just help? No, that was good. And helping the
Sick and poor. Yeah, there's a common theme there, isn't there? Maybe that's what makes these people notable, how they helped others. I'm gonna go ahead and highlight this one because I used orange. Make sure your writing is nice so that you can understand it when you go back to write it on your draft. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. So crazy. You know what's funny? Like 14 kids in here, you guys fit really well.
Any problem?
Like, I mean, like we were able to use a classroom for rotations today because we were all like crammed in here. That's crazy, right?
I wish.
But
I
I
really wish we had 20 kids. It's just it would be
you know, I
better
wish that we
if
had
it was
a bigger classroom rather than
Yeah.
less kids.
Yeah, because then we could do like bigger stuff in the
But you know what? Today we kind of did use the hallway and I'm just kind of like learning where can they send you guys for these groups? And I think it's gonna work out because I sent you to St. Patrick room, St. Thomas room, hallway, and in here, and it worked. Okay. Are you guys done?
No.
Yeah. Oh, really? Because I think her classroom is bigger.
Yeah.
Because she even has like a little library. I love it.
Let me see that.
That's because it's
Oh yeah.
all right. Put your hands in the air. Put your hands on your head, on your shoulders, on your nose, in the air. Grab your pencil. Pick it up. Detail number 1. After helping the sick and poor was written down, we're going to go back to our paper and we're going to write down our first detail. Remember, this is not a full sentence on here. This is just like a note so that you kind of can remember what to write in a full sentence in your own words on your draft. So this first sentence, 1948, she formed her own order, the Missionaries of Charity, that focused entirely on the poor and the monks. So how can I just note that? I want to mention the date, 1948. They call it an order. So own order. And then I'm going to write semicolon because it's kind of like we're listing. Own order. I'm going to write sick and poorest.
Can you put a little louder?
Is that better?
Oh yeah.
So 1948, own order, semicolon, sick and poorest. Now, is this a sentence? No, it's more like we're jotting down our thoughts. That's why it's not a complete sentence.
I can't read that.
Sorry, I should have wrote nicer. Hold on one second. So 1948, own order. And I put a semicolon, sick and poorest. You can even write helped. Help, sick and poorest. Sorry, I'll write nicer for the next one. Thank you, Damien. Good job, Silas. Quick question, Silas. Mother Teresa, is that a name of a person? Yeah, it's a name of a person. So your title should be having some capitals. Okay. All right, give me a thumbs up if I can move on. Awesome. Let's go to detail number 2. I'm going to read it out loud, and I would like you to tell me how I should write it down as notes. She provided the poor and the sick with food and medical care so they can die in peace. How can I jot this down? Anybody? Nope. Nope. Yes. Oh, it's okay. Do you need me to repeat the sentence? Wake up, people.
No.
Do you need me to repeat the sentence?
No.
Okay. How can I jot this down? What should I write? Damien. Yeah, so how can I write this down without like writing a whole sentence? Oh, that's a whole sentence already. It has to be notes. So it's like kind of just like words that make sense together, but they're not necessarily a complete sentence. You want to try, Silas?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Provided food and health care
Okay.
for the poor and sick.
Food and medical care. All right, sorry. Care, semicolon, die in peace. Food and medical care. Die in peace. When we go back to write this as a complete sentence, you'll know what we're talking about, right? Are we talking about animals? No. If you have to, when you go back and write this, it has to be in context that we're writing about Mother Teresa using this. And I would love for somebody to read the next highlighted portion or next detail and come up with some notes for that sentence. Did you read it already? Read it. Everybody read it.
2007, 600 million schools and shelters in 120 countries. As they grew older.
Oh, wait a second. That's all we highlighted. So how can I jot this down so that I know what to write about later? How can I jot this down? Yeah. Good. 600 missions, schools, shelters in 120 countries, right? You can say countries, right? And we know that countries are around the world. You don't have countries within countries. So we'll just leave around the world out. So 600 missions, schools, shelters in 120 countries. That's pretty amazing. Actually, that wouldn't be a semicolon, it'd just be a comma. It's like when you're listing things, when you're listing like thoughts, like 600 missions. I'll have to teach you guys that later because I don't want to confuse you. But it's when you're listing more complete thoughts, but not necessarily full sentences. Oh yeah. Yes. Silas.
Can I go on my work phone?
Not right now, friends. After we're done with this, you can go. Okay. Give me a thumbs up if you're done with that. Okay, I'll give you guys one more minute. By the way, I'm not going to write these sentences with you guys because I'm using my phone. Because you're ready for it. We did it together last week with Helen Keller. This week you're doing it on your own.
And we will
Okay, let's move on to main idea number 3. Please turn to a partner. If possible, use a third color. If not, go back to the first color. Okay, I have orange. You want to trade with me?
I have orange.
I don't have another color, so I'm going to go back to my first color, which was yellow. Oh, green is. I'll do green. It's actually Silas's, so you can give it back to him when you're done. Oh, perfect. Can I borrow one? Anyone that you're not going to use. Thank you. I don't. Does anybody have a different color that they're not using other than orange or yellow? Is that pink? Oh, thanks. Thanks anyways, Luke. Thank you, Luke. Okay, here we go. This is going to be kind of difficult because there's only one sentence or 2 sentences. Actually, 1, 2, 3. 3 short sentences, factual sentences. Let's start from as she grew. Are you ready? And read.
As she grew older,
She suffered from many health problems. She had a heart attack in 1983. She died on September 5th, 1997. Okay. Okay, let's highlight health problems. Heart attack would be interesting, right? Very important because that's how she died in 1983, 2 years before I was born. Oh, actually, sorry. Heart attack was in 1983. She actually died in 1997. So died September 1997.
So it's not just
What was that?
it's not just
No, I don't know actually. I would have to find that out when her piece is. Okay, I'll do that later. Just let's finish this. I would like to label this and tell me if you agree with her. Let me see. So it's about her. It's about basically the end of her life, right? Okay, so I don't want to label it death. End of life. Okay, I like that.
The life and death.
Mhm. End of
That I will
life. Yeah, we're doing 2 today.
Why I think we have to stop after this, but
There's no more info on the sheet.
I know, and also it's almost time for games.
Oh yeah, no, it's not. We have a whole hour.
Yeah, we have 50. But then all the kids that are after have to go.
Well, that's why I'm recording this.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm recording this so I can send it to them.
Yeah. So everything I'm saying right now is being recorded.
You are being recorded. Thank you. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the first detail, that we highlighted. First detail, because this is already short, is health problems. So she grew, actually, I'm going to highlight this. When she was older, she had health problems. Yes? So how can I write that down as a note, Serafina? Yes. Make it a little shorter. How about we write older and then write what you wrote. Older. And then I'm just going to write health problems because you can write suffered from health problems as a full sentence. We'll just say when she was older, she had health problems. Thank you. Wait. Okay, wait, Damien, you can take the next one, but you have to not shout out. Is that a deal? Okay. Take a look at the second highlighted portion. It says she had a heart attack in 1993. That's super easy to note. How can I note heart attack in 1993? Yes? She had a heart attack in 1983. How can I note that? You're welcome. How about, yes?
She had a heart attack.
That's a full sentence. Notes are just thoughts.
Heart attack.
Beautiful. Heart attack. You can, what you said right now would be great for a full sentence when you write out your draft. Very good. Heart attack, 1983. Okay. And then last sentence that we highlighted, or portion that we highlighted, was she died on September 5th, 1997. How can I just note that, McDowell? Beautiful. I'm going to abbreviate September. So when I do the abbreviation, I need to add that, correct? That tells the reader, and that tells me that I did, sept is not the word. It's actually short for September. September 5th, 1997.
Yay.
Beautiful.
No, two.
Yes. He has that at home, so you could totally help him out with that. Sure, just don't forget it, okay? Sit down and raise your hands. All right, my friends, are you done with this? If you are, put both hands in the air and stretch to the left and stretch to the right. And okay. Okay. We will continue tomorrow with writing the actual sentences into our graphic organizer. Is that a dealio?
Yeah.
Dealio?
Yeah.
Go ahead and put this away into writing.
Here's the bag.
Thank you. You're not? It's let me see your paper. Your Mother Teresa paper, the info sheet. It's this one right here. She died September 5th, 1997. Make that into a note.
Everybody take each other's highlighter back.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that.